Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Site Defender of the Fatherland. Off here tonight, signing 1 vs 1 on Semoisky Winter. I was about to call it Holotny Winter. That would have been a bit awkward. Versus these, we got Luvnest fighting here for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin. Taking on the role here of the 5th Mechanized Corps versus in the south, you got Dave fighting for the Oberkommandist, Germany, Deutschland. The 19th Panzer Division with Sturmpionier Red Volksgrenadiers. In hand, he's got Luftwaffe Ground Forces Special Operations and Firestorm, able to unleash the full might of the Third Reich against Luvnest Soviets with infantry and medical bulletins versus Luvnest. Got motor, got rifle and armored assault, double infantry and snipers. Luvnest here, ready to just hammer down the fascists with the might of socialism. Conscript start, there's appointment companies. There'll probably be some Maxims and mortars out here to keep Dave in check. In the early game, there we go. Max on the white, Sandmax being laid down around the cutoff point to make it more easy, defensible against the fascists, the Hitlerites. Alright, Otto, I want you to start shooting at the Russians, not right when we see them, but when they come in effective range. These assault rifles, while nice, don't quite have the same range as a bolt action. Fulton's moving up there, Max on the way there for Luvnest, who's moving towards the village here, both checking out houses, kicking in doors, breaking windows for, well, I don't know what reasons. There you go, first engagement likely to happen here soon. Luvnest does not seem to suspect what's about to happen. Did you lock the door, Petrov? Niet. And there you go, close quarters engagement. Those two pioneers as Dave sits in aggressively versus Luvnest. The first engagement there was decidedly in the favour of Dave. The conscript rushed back, rushed off, and quickly wiring off the entrance as well there, blocking it. Further, Luvnest there pushing for the west side here. Very good. He'll probably be going for another maximum soon. They could consider more infantry. Now the player that has by in the opening moment's gone for doctrine. Dave strikes at the cutoff point here in the south. Point they secured. More conscripts for Luvnest for now. Max remains in the fuel, engineers being westwards, and we got Sandbags settling down on the centre victory point. They're a bit on the road, technically. And we can see that Dave Hard at work wiring off the Sandbags, looking to deny Luvnest precious cover. In this case, precious cover within the point itself, so Luvnest can't contest the point. I mean, he can still sort of hang up there, but, you know, he can't grab the point, which is rather what I imagine Dave is looking for. Max inside the house now to cover the fuel point. Conscript moving in there. Second conscript ready there as well for Luvnest. And another engagement as two pioneers as conscripts, but out in the ice there, the conscripts are easy targets for Dave's Volksgrenadiers. But there you go. Managed to bait them into the Maxim here. Nice work there by Luvnest. Dave did not anticipate a Maxim here, it seems, and immediately suffered the price. The conscript continued to fight the Sturm pioneers in the open, falling up behind some boats. They got more conscripts moving in. They need to be careful not to get too close unless they're within the effective range of the Sturmpioniers assault rifles, which will have a slightly less effective range than, say, the Panzer Grenadiers assault rifles. Second Maxim way there for Luvnest. Troops moving forward here, and of course he's got Maxims, the Incendiary Grenadiers there. Quick and suppressed, getting suppressed. Almost stopped there. Can he pin them down before? There we go, pin, but needs to stop the other unit, which gets close enough for the Incendiary Grenade. Ooh, some pretty tense stuff here between Dave and Luvnest. He continues to fire, the units are building on fire. Mikhail just keeps blasting away there. Don't worry, the fire is merely an illusion. Even as you can see, Yuri, Sergei, and Dmitri burning up. They merely fell to the illusion. I'm pretty sure that's actually fire. Shut up, Pushkin. You're clearly not a true socialist. Nice work by the Luvnest merging with the Maxim using his conscripts called. Very good work there. And I think someone's still on fire there. Literally. Second Maxim moving in here. Conscript fighting versus the Volksgrenadiers. It's a bit tricky here, for he needs to somehow get up on the side and shoot at them. And I think he maybe do it with a Maxim. And there you go. Sturmpine's being prevented there from moving further away there. And we go for being flanked here by the Maxim, halting the Volksgrenadier squad. They're pushing it back. A very tense engagement between Dave and Luvnest. Luvnest been forced off. This could have given a massive advantage for Dave, because making it hard for Luvnest to get anywhere. But now, with Dave's forces forced off the field, Luvnest can come in and secure the village, or at least parts of the village, and, you know, make it hard for Dave to do anything. Which by going for a lot more Volksgrenadiers. He's also going for the Schwerwehr with the Bad Group headquarters. Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. We've got flamethrowers up here for Luvnest. And right now, I mean, with all these Volksgrenadiers, Dave would, I think, be, you know, imminently suited for going for Feuersturm and going for MP40s. Maybe some flamethrowers for the Sturmpionier. We'll have to see who goes for that. Maxim sitting up here in the church. Second Maxim is back at base. They've been healing, actually. Interesting, it doesn't look like he needed healing, but I'm guessing in this case, Dave just wanted to be absolutely sure did not take any chances. And sometimes, I mean, like Dave Luvnest, Luvnest did not wish to take any chances with the Maxim crew. Going for another engineer squad here to help build up stuff so he doesn't retreat the other squad. Though it looks like he will have to retreat it anyways, and obviously in the longer term also means more minesweepers and more stuff to repair with. So, I mean, going for another engineer squad right now I don't think is a bad choice here for Luvnest. No doctrine yet for Luvnest or Dave. He can soon actually begin calling him Gasman if so wants. Dave got the Belgrove headquarters up here, the Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier for the 19th Panzerdivision. Volkskriegs moving westwards. Engineers laying down mines. Halter there. That was an incredibly close wipe there for Luvnest. Pretty lucky there that Dave did not actually get a full wipe. Sending it on the Maxim there, lighting the entire facade up like a Christmas tree on fire. Now that didn't work out very well as a metaphor, no, did it? In the south here, we got a bit of skirmishing over the fuel point here. Folks are holding the contract. They still managed to enter the point neutral. They're delaying and denying Dave fuel. Very good work there by Luvnest. Good strike there, though. Of course, there's the other option, which is just flank the body, hit the calf point first. In the north here, in the around the centre, engineers are finding about here. Second Maximum could flank the Sturm pioneers in the heavy cover. Looks like more interesting supporting the full contract in the south by the fuel point. Dave more slowly approaching the northern fuel point, a bit wary about that point after his previous engagements. And going for the light infantry gun. I would have figured a flak half tracker would sort of more Dave's priority, but he seems to be aiming here for the lightest infantry shots. The first is getting medics. Noting no doctrine, instead we're just seeing assault rifles with the Volksgrenadiers, so that decreases the chance of this, and that increases either its Luftwaffe ground forces or special operations. Heading the fuel point here, laying down sandbags towards the ice. That's a very good spot there for Dave to sandbag up there. We got the 10% command going up. You know, Fritz, laying these sandbags on the ice, how's that exactly supposed to work? Once you just slide away, you know, it's sand, it provides friction. Oh, yeah. I think anyways. Point there secured, troops reinforcing healing. Another shot on the way there for Dave pretty fast. I'll probably set up for the scrap hunted course. Got mines here on the sandbag position. Yeah, the Hitlerites won't see this one coming. Ha ha ha. Oh, you're so cruel, Yuri. So cruel. There you go, Maximus, the Volksgrenadiers here, constant attacking forward as well. Not an attempt to say flanking, just head on the assault there. We got assault rifles up for Dave's Volksgrenadiers. In this case, they get suppressed. Bit of bad luck there for Dave, as opposed to, Fritz could also stack his Hitlers out behind the cover. But first doctoral choice here, it is Gart Motor for Luvnest, Gart's Rifle, maybe Heavy Mortar, and probably T-55 down the road. Mines on the ice here from Luvnest. Interesting spot there, by the way. Of course, the question is, how do you mine the ice? That's, you know, the big question here. How do you mine ice? But there you go. Smokes being laid down here on the Maxim position. He then pulls up behind here. Might just go for the cutoff point. Sturm pioneers running from the front. Very good executed assault there by Dave. Point aiming shot. We got tripwire flare mines going down. Bit of disruption here where we can see the Luvnest quickly moves in to intercede and stop Dave's further advance here. Very good work there by Luvnest. And we got a first guard rifle squad out here for Luvnest. Dave, though, remains doctrineless. Mine goes off here, blows apart the sandbags, and Heinz und Ludwig. He's pulling up the contract support here to flush out the Volksgrenadiers. That's definitely going to be a bit unfortunate situation there for Dave. Struggling in the fuel race here versus Luvnest. He's doing his best actually. Rassi, very good positioning up there in the north. Counter-rushing force. And noting no Molotovs here, so Dave actually has the advantage. He can pop up an incendiary grenade at the right time. And even he seems to have been enjoying it. Maxim ready there again for Luvnest in the centre there. Luvnest gaining control. We got Samax being laid down there in the central victory point. And it looks like he's going to set up the scrap punch course somewhere around the fuel point here to defend it. Lander gun firing into the centre. And up north here, very close engagement. Interesting. Looks like Dave's kind of forgotten about it. Cut-off point secured. And pops back there. Maximum up as well to sort of help deal with that. And there we go. Guardsmen with Sturm pioneers. That's very much looking like the Guards engagement. DP light machine guns on the way. Volksgrenadiers being pushed back there. More Volksgrenadiers moving in. Fun fact, the Russians themselves were not that impressed with the DP light machine gun in the long term. At least the commanders and overall preferred if they couldn't get some kind of other light machine gun to support the infantry squads. I believe I've seen some reports from that. So while the DP light machine gun was very rugged, it just apparently wasn't that good. I think in part due to the sort of whole magazine on top, which rather gave some issues amongst other things. Bit of line for gunfire here. But there you go. DP light machine guns are ready for him. We got shot under fire here. If Dave loses that, that's going to be pretty unpleasant for him. Looks like he does get away, but that was really close there for Dave. That was really close. And there you go, grenade off. Fultz's almost wiped out there with a Gaspin. Pushing back in the Unisa victory points wise. We've got a lead there for Dave so far versus Luvnest, and Luvnest here flying up with the T-70 light tank to push hard against Dave, who is completely unprepared for this bar. He's got no anti-tank weapons, no Panzerschrecks, no Raketenwerfers, absolutely nothing. So this is going to, I think, be pretty effective here for Luvnest. This is going to be pretty effective. I would say it's actually a really good read of Dave's tactical disposition so far. Dave ends up here with Special Operations Spec Ops going for an MG34. He's clearly not anticipating Luvnest going for a T-70 alternate here. This time avoiding the card of fuel point. He actually goes for the car point instead. Repeating what Dave did on the north there essentially. But a good strike there. MG34 Academy for now. So he's going for the MG34 first, but he's realising he's going to need some anti-tank weapons here versus Luvnest. His truck, by the way, is not going to be setting up anytime soon due to all the manpower being spent towards that. Maxim there sneaking about in the north. Now Luvnest is acting control of most of the map here compared to Dave. Might risk falling back aggressively. Got mines being laid down. Very good work there by Luvnest. There you go. Shots fired. T-70 engaging with his 45mm gun. Mega engineers being repulsed here by the Sturm Pioneer, the Volksgrenadiers, but they are still very much lacking in one department, which is the anti-tank department. They have no real way of fending off the T-70, which is a big tactical advantage there for Luvnest. Those Kednefer finally arrives. You also got the info supporting a push into the centre, setting up in the church. Bit of skirmishing and no ink grenades. In fact, Davis not really been making use of a lot of incendiary grenades here versus Luvnest in a lot of situations. I do find a bit interesting. Situation getting really unpleasant here for Dave around the couple. And there you actually get some grenades off here. I mean, he only really used them against the Maxims, but never really against the infantry in most situations. Again, being hauled forward, but that still takes some time. The truck is still just standing out on the ice, doing nothing there for Dave in the slightest. He's setting up troops here towards the north and sort of catch the Maxim off guard. It can work out, but if not, oh dear, yeah, that's going to be a suppression. He could try grenade assault here, maybe. There you go. Oh, that was a really terribly thrown grenade there by the Volksgrenadiers. T-70 is not pushing more aggressively. He's worried about anti-tank weapons. I mean, he's made a good read, and by now, though, it's a bit too late. All the way, like coming up. More flamethrowers there for Luvnest, standing up for 2 flamethrowers. So he's not worried about Dave laying down mines at this stage, which is an interesting choice here. But it's probably part because he's just got so much map control. He's sort of, been pressuring Dave so much, and Dave has not actually had a lot of opportunity to lay down mines. So at this stage, Luvnest is not too concerned about them and decides to just push his advantage further versus Dave, investing in flamethrowers. We'll see if Dave doesn't, somehow find a way to punish him for this or not. But the Sturm parts, they're almost getting wiped out. The Kednefer shoots, gets a decent hit on the T-70. Dave's forces are bleeding out quite because we've got the Schwerpunter course being set up around the cutoff point here to defend that one. That's not a bad spot at all there for Dave. Not a bad spot at all. Luvnest bringing up a heavy mortar here. The 120mm mortar there. Which is a fun fact the Germans outright copied alongside several of the other Axis nations. And by outright copied, I mean it was pretty much a straight up copy they used of it for themselves. That's a little fun fact there. The Soviets did have a heavier mortar, that was a 160mm mortar, but that one was used a lot less. And I think did not catch on elsewhere. Gas moving about there. T-70 setting about as well here for the motherland. Push for the north again. Now switching towards here, looking for the target to deal with rather than a Kednefer spot. Amvigo is now heading for the cop on this time around. There will be a bit of a surprise there from Dave for Luvnest. Guns are suppressed, but getting the victory point in the centre nonetheless. Forces fighting here around the car fuel point, and there you go. Counter repulse from the car point. The third on the flank of the Schwerpunter course does the trick. Heavy mortar fire landing down here, very much threatening to wipe out the Volksgrenadiers. No barrage here from Luvnest, but I imagine here Dave won't remain in that position for long, or his men won't, because they'll be dead. Up north there, T7 going good work there. Note here in this case, Luvnest is basically just looking to sort of hit at weaker points, you know, force Dave to sort of have concentrate forces more, making it harder for attack to push elsewhere. This is rather what the T7 is good at as well, constraining your opponent's movements. And until Dave gets out a light vehicle and hunt it down, or Luvnest does something stupid with it, I mean, it's going to be very much prohibited from moving up out here, for example. He needs to keep it close to the anti-tank weapons, and he's only got one at that. So the T-70 very much enjoys a lot of freedom while denying Dave a lot of freedom. Smokes in there the Maxim, very good. But does he have anything to really push through with? He can go for the Panzer IV now, though. That would certainly give him a bit of armoured fighting power here versus Luvnest. Sturmpire's almost like a grenade. Oh dear. Air mortar around there, almost took them out, and he's about to lose the gap. He's going to probably try and finish off the job there, and they will likely... Oh! That was lucky there for Dave. Incredibly lucky. Those luck might soon run out. And there you go, Dave with a Panther on the way to support the 19th Panzer Division up here, folks retreating. Engineers moving about there, close to Veteran T2. Maxim with Veteran 2 standing about. And your 4 hanging about. Their kit troops reinforcing healing for Dave. He might also want to consider some mobile soldating with infant assault rifles. I think in some right conditions they could do a lot of damage to Luvnest. We shall see what it ends up with. Forcing back the Indy 34, which is quite exposed for anything to really support it. So the hay mortars make it much harder here for Dave to maintain that position. Up north, bit of skirmishing back and forth, mines laid down there by Luvnest. Really good work by Luvnest overall mining here, and Dave has some not very good luck actually finding the mines and dealing with them, which is just amazing for Luvnest. There you go, Panzer IV ramming here for Dave. Now he's got the tanks out, and Luvnest has yet to take up. And he's got no real other anti-tank weapon, take the anti-tank rifle. So now, I think it's Dave time to really begin pushing back at Luvnest for the fatherland. So which way it goes, we've got mines being laid down here. Interesting spot there by Luvnest. Note he's also in here with the guardsman. Very good. And immediately crashes Sergei there, and anti-tank grenade goes off. Light damage to the Panther IV. More moving ahead there, looking more to crash. Shots fired here. The lack of a machine gun to the Panther IV does increase the chance of dealing with the infantry, I think, reasonably well. We got Sturmpire's up support though. Mines was in hand. So I think mines have been laid down, maybe. Ali pushing back, he's going to need some repairs in the Panther IV's machine gun supporting him, the fuel pond there, and the points here. Got a Maxim all the way up there doing nothing here, and I imagine there'll be more mines here from Luvnest. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. Retrieving engineers here. He needs to laying down more mines, and we can see Luvnest just completely abandons the village in this case. Utterly abandons it. Having no way of stopping the Panther IV, doesn't even try to stall it, doesn't even try to delay it, wasting manpower, just falls back completely. That's going to set it up for a counter-attack, I think, with saving so much manpower for his tanks. I think that's overall, I think, solid choice there. But Luvnest going for a field gun, he can then begin taking up soon. It's also hit in terms of victory points, losing the village, for example. It's not going to be a crucial blow here from Dave. So, again, overall, I think a very smart decision there by Luvnest against Dave. Just conceding the village for now, and sometimes, you know, just being able to concede ground rather than fighting needlessly is the best move. Not always, but in this case, I think it is actually the best move. There you go. Mechanized armor company should have both engineers working on it, so you can push out the tanks as fast as possible versus Dave. Skirmishing in the south, a Kednev forces all bang about. Here we got the Panther IV moving in, and no anti-tank mines, so they could stop the Panther IV bit there, though they are flare mines. But they'll be able to restore some order to the front line here for Germany, for the 19th Panzer Division. Bursting into shits there with the Panzer. Mechanized armor company for Luvnest done. He can immediately go here for the T-35, again pushing back a Dave with some tanks of his own that are slightly bigger than his T-70. And there you go, we got the T-35 on the way there for... Oh, he just killed some of his own men there. You saw that, right? They were trying to desert to the enemy. The only preserves the honor of the German army, they said. Yeah. It was an accident at all. Nine. Floating about near the south, we got guards moving up there. Alpha 23 engineer suppressed. Quick grenade off. Losses being inflicted. Almost got the gasman there. Folks need to retreat to jump on as well. Then they can't merge with each other anyway. And there we go. Dave makes the necessary decision. Retreats. Panzer IV there falling back a bit. Could try and push back the engineers. We got a field gun though, which is going to make that a lot bloody harder. Forces sneaking up the west. Orbital had nothing happening there for Dave. And we got the T-35 up here for Luvnest for the 5th Mechanized Corps. The T-35 was basically just a T-34-6 with a turret that was overall bigger and with an 85mm gun. The hull itself received no real changes. It's a little fun fact there. Mine hit though, or Panzer firsted. But Luvnest doesn't have anything, or Dave doesn't have any forces readily available to actually finish off the T-7, so there's a chance of getting away. And he actually lost the filter squad up north. Looks like he hit a mine or something. Bit nasty there for Dave. Panzer IV slowly rolling back here. 9 kills, veterans who won. T-35 rolling ahead. Dave's clearly not confident in getting the T-45 with this Panzer IV in its state as it is. Shot penetrated though. You can see that Luvnest falls back with his tank for now. Panzer IV landing a good hit there. Pin machine bar has been added. SIS-3 moving up. And Panzer IV shoots, misses. Direct hit here from the SIS-3 and the Panzer IV. Oh dear, he's going to try and rush ahead here. Ah dear, that... Oh, he got lucky. The T-5 shot bounced, but he's got damaged engine. And very low health there. He's going to lose that Panzer IV though, unless he gets incredibly lucky. Looks like the Foxes just managed to push away the field gun for long enough that Dave can actually salvage the Panzer IV there from this absolute mess. He managed to create himself for a bit there. So there you go, field gun down. He's probably going to try and maybe grab the field gun trend against Luvnest T-35, but he should pull back the Sturm Pioneers. Oh dear, yeah, he can't now, he can't. Said it's not like Ken with the other Fox squad moving in there to deal with the T-35. Hit that Panzer IV repaired, Dave. Schnell. And there you go, seizes the SIS-3 to fight against the Soviets. My God, this thing is heavy. How does the Russians keep pushing it? Well, you know, I actually don't know. Maybe it's used vehicles. Horses. Anyways, Panzer IV on the way there for Dave. A second Panzerkampfwagen. Trying to pull up as many Panzers as he can, which I think is a solid decision. In theory, he could maybe aim for a Panther, but we got Orbital out. That's going to help a lot once they get upgraded. Right now they aren't, so not so much. Panzer IV, they're close to veterans 2. Orbital occupying a tactically advantageous position here versus Luvnest forces. Second Panzer IV, they're almost done. But Luvnest just keeps pressuring Dave, hitting left and right, and Dave is struggling to sort of keep up the pace with that. Panzer IV almost good to go. And there you go, we got infrared assault rifles on the way for Dave from the 19th Panzer Division. Light gun, they're being flanked. We got the SIS-3 carrying the flank and successfully deterring the T-70 for now. There you go, just as the Panzer IV's fixed, the other one should arrive, giving Dave then the armor edge on the battlefield again. Though Luvnest can soon go for another T-35 himself and lastly begin pushing hard against Dave once more. Of course, now Dave has more anti-tank weapons as well, like Kedmevs and the SIS-3. It becomes harder for Luvnest to make full use of his armor, and he's going to have to keep working better together with his artillery and his infantry to sort of make the most out of it, unless Dave does something really dumb with his tanks. Repulsed at the Panzer IV, damaged in again pretty fast. Line for gun wiped out, Orbital line retreating here, Fox in support. Second Panzer IV running here, we got the T-55 setting up with the second one for Luvnest for the motherland. He got the SIS-3 field gun, that's definitely bad there for Dave. He's gotten away with really sort of adding more firepower to the Russian armor. Panzer IV, they're gaining their T2, country being blasted. Up north, points being secured, and we got Mark Beale going off in the Panzer IV. Now he's going for the more damaged one. He's basically, in this case, forcing Dave to pull back the Panzer IV. He's probably not going to pursue it, but he's pretty much preventing from joining in the fight. Otherwise, he's just going to get focused down. So I think that's an interesting choice. That tactically, but Luvnest could still pursue it, but there's the chance of the other Panzer IV to support there instead, in which case it's not going to work out. But again, he can just force that one to fall away because he can't risk it. Shots missing, a bouncing there, forcing him into flank. Victory points wise. Dave is really beginning to fall behind Luvnest now, which is not good here. And Dave, I think at this stage, should strongly consider bringing in a second Stern Pioneer squad to assist with repairs. Still, both the line gun and the field gun back. That is tactically unfortunate there for Dave, though he did stop the field gun from being towed off back into Soviet lines. The lack of Stern Pioneers and other things to help repair his tanks, I think, is not going to help out Dave a lot. The Luvnest, meanwhile, has got access to vehicle crew self-repairs besides double engineers to ensure his tanks can be fixed up pretty fast. Someone just running right past for this German base. Mines being laid down again. Luvnest very much in the ball with the mines. Compared to again, Dave just hasn't had much of the time or the resources to mine up. Another kid on the way there for Dave. Stern Pioneer fixing up one Panzer IV. Should definitely work them together though. Note the invention of 3 T-70 there with 23 kills. Very nasty there for any of Dave's infantry. It's highly accurate with a high rate of fire. T-70 moving about, they're still just hammering away, killing orbital Darden. Not anything else is doing it. Got the Panzer IV moving in there on its own though. On its own. That's pretty risky I think there for Dave. With no real support there. Now he's going to have to fix it up again. Back reinforcement here going on, and there you go. T-Fed moving in, engaging the Panzer IV head on. Penetrating hit from the 85 mm gun on the Panzer IV. Second Panzer IV moving in, and there you go. 2 penetrations without the second T-Fed IV moving in. Then you can cover the Panzer IV. Day 46. There you go. Second T-Fed IV arrives, and the Panzer IVs fall back again. Not willing to risk it any further. Panzer IV they're roughly halfway towards 23. Back here, healing reinforcement up north. We got harassment on the point. See whether the Kednev are unable to respond to Luvnest's rapid aggression. Fixing up the Panzer IV fairly soon. Again, saying Stern Pioneer squad would do Dave a ton of good. Okay, we're just sort of watching. Alright, don't move. If they don't see us, we can just grab the point back later. You can't fight these Russian monsters. These barbarians. These apes. I don't think you should be calling them all those nasty things, but they possibly can hear us. Panzer IV's being fixed up again. Luvnest using his T-70 to secure territory, very nice. Taking itself a pain. Positive consequences up north. Folks Grenadier versus Conscript Assault Rifle versus Mercenary Guns. That should be the advantage here for the folks of the Orbital Army. You know, though, having suffered losses, still should have the advantage. Fighting in the south. There you go. Panther going for the T-55. Should be able to get that destroyed. The Guardsmen are helping out. Did not get the T-55. Did not get it. Almost lost the Panzer IV there again, and just the one Stern Pioneer squad I think is clearly not enough here for Dave. He's going to need a second one to really just ensure the tanks are repaired decent. Oh, he pulls ahead with the Panzer IV, ignoring the Guardsmen on the flank. You see Luvnest actually uses the hit the dirt ability just to increase their ability than just finding the tank. Oh dear. He's very close to hitting Victory in the Panzer IV, which is pretty good. The lack of Pioneers of the repairs tank or mechanized regiment is starting to hurt Dave, as it keeps his tanks out of the fight for quite a long while. Almost got a bit 2 T-55 out there for Luvnest. He can actually soon go for... No, he can't. He's got too much stuff in the field. He's almost at full pop cap. There you go. Kedman finally reveals himself against the T-55, landing off some hits there with his 88mm rocket. Got the Panzer IV fixed up again. We'll have to see how long this one lasts before it needs to be pulled back to workshop for more repairs. Engineer sneaking about. Bit of quiet here and there. And there you go, Dave sets up on the other. So I do think Dave needs to consider another attack direction. I think that's one of Dave's biggest. He keeps attacking around here, which means he needs for Love to defend, whereas again he's just trying to make a big push towards west, maybe attacking from here, from the north towards Luvnest, I think he'd have a much better chance. The problem is the way things are kind of set up, he makes it very much easier for Luvnest to defend against Dave. Much easier. In this case, he's going to get the field gun, so it's not all bad, but I do kind of feel like Dave needs to consider overall changing his attack approach. He might be able to get the T-70 though, which is going to be pretty big here for Dave, as that one's been a real thorn in the side. There you go, takes it down. Bet you feed for the Panther 4. Mine goes off in the eyes. Line gun wiped out, comes to the taking heavy damage. They've got the Orbison tearing through them with the infrared assault rifles. Folks goes with regular assault rifles. T-55 moving ahead though. Panther 4 needs to get back on and support with its high level of veterancy and thus high level of damage. Pushing back the heavy mortar. Victory point wise, it's starting to look really desperate here for Dave. Down to 77 versus Luvnest 334. Machine gun there being pushed back. Rushing for the victory point. Needs to secure the other victory point as well. And he still desperately needs more steel pioneers. Panther 4 T-55 flank finding it out there. Shot bounced. Missed. Machine gun there moved up here as well. Salvaging the SIS-3. Destroying the light infantry gun, we got the T-55 moving out. Other moving in, they need to be ready for that one as well. There you go, flanking in for 4 crews, gonna wipe it out. Oh dear. Comes up and the T-55 almost taking it out here. Luvnest just really putting on the pressure using his tanks on Dave. Now he's going to try and pursue the T-55 and finish it off. Other T-55 moving in are going to attack around the Panther 4. He knows it's isolated without any support from anti-tank weapons and rocket efforts. Very good judgment there by Luvnest. Going straight for it there, go up close to Panther 4. It's not really bad spot, but now eventually 2 T-55. He got the second one moving in. They're just going to have to rush his tank in the support. He also needs to get that machine gun back in action. There's so much that Dave needs to do in so little time and so few men compared to Luvnest, who just has a much larger force. He also has a lot more time. I mean, Luvnest can all do this at much more his pace. Tank there being pushed back. Dave could soon go for the Panther, but I still think most steel pioneers would suit him a lot better. Just so you can repair the tanks much faster, because I definitely feel like that's one of the unfortunate things for Dave with this engagement. It's been taking him quite some time repeatedly to get his tanks back in action, which gives Luvnest more time just to get its own forces in order and bring them back online. Holy smokes, that was a good hit there. Several conscripts sunk into the ice. Panther 4 very close to Victory 4. Getting the victory point being suppressed by the maximum up there. He needs to rush in a tank maybe. But yeah, I think Dave's going to aim for a Panther. I mean, a King Tiger is definitely out of the question here. Panther's still a bit risky. In fact, he might be better off with a third Panther 4. But I think Dave wants to try and tackle the T-55s a bit more aggressively in some ways. .38 versus 328. Good hit there. T-55 on the hand completely whiffs. Eventually 4 gained. Panther on the way there for Dave. Panther come back in front. Guards going to take man losses from the Panther 4. 28 kills. Kenno's moving up. There you go, another hit here from the T-55 on the Panther 4. All of a sudden pulling in, close to 52, bomb grenade off. Panther 4 almost taken out here by the T-55. Definitely not a good engagement there for Dave. He's almost got the victory point there, but he's about to lose the center one due to the T-55 moving in. He's going to have to rush in the other Panther 4 to stabilize the situation. He's just sort of rushing from hotspot to hotspot. As Luvnest is just against Solid, just sitting very comfortably against Dave at the moment. Dave's just not really getting into great hits versus Luvnest. And again, he's just also suffering a lot of pressure. It becomes a lot harder for Dave to make any sort of, long-term decisions, because he just has to focus on the short term, which is stabilizing constantly. He's almost got the Panther ready though. Almost. Troops being massacred in the center. Panther finally arrives here for Dave from the 19th Panzer Division. Panther 4 fights a desperate, hopeless fight here in the center. Outnumbered, outgunned. Academy are trying to keep in, but he's just getting bombarded here by all of Luvnest's T-55s. Panther moves ahead here, right past the engineers. And there you go. Takes a hit from the T-55, which penetrates, gets back a penetrating hit there for Germany. And the T-Feather rolls forward. See, not a lot for it to insist. It's actually been interesting Luvnest going in. I'm guessing in this case he's just trying to push back Dave's tanks away from the victory points. In this case, he's just sort of making a threat there that's going to... Or maybe even use it as bait to draw the tanks in. Maybe instead... I mean, there's a few options here of what Luvnest could be thinking with this move, but... Either way, he's keeping the victory point. They're safe in his east. He's also grabbing the victory point there. 33 points left for Dave, who is starting to really fall behind Luvnest further. Mines being laid down the crossroads there. Very good spot. And there you go. GG. Game over. Loss for Dave. A loss for Germany. Ultimately outdone here by Luvnest, by all of his tanks. I think in part the issue was with Davis just focused so much on this part of the map. He made it much easier for Luvnest to defend. There was very little action on the west. Over some very few attempts from Dave to switch the angle of attack, trying to throw Luvnest off for those measures. Also lack of mines, which made it a lot easier for Luvnest to use his T-center like the way he wanted to. And with his tanks again, I definitely feel a second Steel Pioneer squad with the system a lot more in repairing his tanks faster. That way, getting them back into the fight faster. Comparatively, Luvnest had much more easier ways of just getting his tanks fixed and back into the action. It was also much faster for the doctrines. So, overall, I'd say Luvnest played pretty well here and really sort of just kept Dave in check, and all that way I think won the fight beautifully. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a new player and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing to you. Thank you for watching. Hope you all tomorrow for a nice sunny episode. Bye.